were at the event tonight, anything notable that you feel happened tonight for the Cowboys?
No. I mean,
fantastic, excellent.
Kudos to the Cowboys for knowing how to put on a show. It was just like it was a quintessential Cowboys moment. And like, look, it's not their fault. I used to work with the people that put all that stuff together. You know, like it takes an army of people to put on an award show and do all of this cool stuff and have a red carpet or a blue carpet as it was in this case. Truly a lot of work went into it, and it was very impressive. But, like, the irony of it was palpable, just considering that
oh boy,
one of their most important players went down last night, and that is the dominant storyline, regardless of what the Cowboys want it to be. And so I just felt like that was hanging over everything. You know, like every player got asked about it. Jerry Jones spoke about it at length. Understandably so, right? Like Tyron Smith is very important to the success of this team. But this whole thing was put together months ahead of time, and the show must go on. And it just created this weird dichotomy of like, yeah, like, way to go, Cowboys, everything's awesome, and the star is incredible. And at the same time, it's like, who the hell is going to play left tackle? And so, like, that's literally, like, that's all I could think about it is I was like, it's so Cowboys to have this big, gaudy event kind of celebrating yourselves. And at the same time, it's like, yeah, but who's going to play left tackle? So, again, like, it's really not their fault. I mean, I don't know how you predict the future, but it was just a very interesting juxtaposition.
And this was all after, David, the day started with Stephen A. Smith and Jerry Jones helicoptering in to First Take today.
That's a literal use of the word helicoptering, mind you.
Like
I hate to carry water for Jerry Jones, but it's a spectacle. It's meant to drum up interest. That's what the Cowboys do. They're very good at it. If you don't like it, get used to it. I mean, I don't know what you really want me to say, but like, it's not there. Like, again, like they made it all the way through training camp without a very big injury. And then like the last night before this, that's when Tyron Smith goes down. And so like if in a world where Tyron Smith is healthy, this would have been a very fun day, you know? Like they would have done the whole thing with Stephen A, and it would have been all the same talking points, and the award show would have gone great. I mean, it still did go great. Like it looked fine. It looked awesome. But, like, obviously there was just this big unforeseen circumstance hanging over everything. And, like, I'm a big enough person to say that's not the Cowboys' fault. Mm-hmm. But when you make everything a spectacle the way the Cowboys like to do, sometimes it bites you in the butt, I guess.
And also, at the same time, when you are only planning for best-case scenario, you end up in a place where you can get bit in this way. Like, how problematic is this perspective that the Cowboys seem to have undertaken?
You know, I'm wrong all the time, so like
Same.
yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, if this is your job, if you talk about this for a living, you're going to be wrong a lot. But I mean, I nailed this one, and like it doesn't.
I love that.
I mean,
talk.
Yeah, talk your talk, David.
Well, like, and I want to be clear, like, you know, I'm not happy about it. Yeah. Tyron Smith is one of my absolute favorite guys on that roster. He's a great guy. He's an amazing player. Like, he's got a shot at the Hall of Fame. But like all spring and all summer, I was like, what's going on? Like, why do the Cowboys think that this is enough? Like, okay, Tyler Smith played tackle in college, but you got him at guard. It's also, everybody agrees that he's a raw player that's going to take some seasoning. Matt Willetsko and Josh Ball are day 3 picks. Like, we know better than to expect tremendous things from day 3 picks. And then they were just like, yeah, we're good here. And this is a team that has made a habit out of having an older veteran swing tackle, because this is now the 7th straight year that Tyron has missed time. And to their credit, they made a habit out of having an insurance policy. I mean, you can say what you want about Ty and Secchi, Cameron Irving, all of those guys. Like, they've always had one, And they might not be amazing players, but they're guys that have started in the league who can step in and do the job. And this year, the Cowboys were just like, we're fine. And it never made sense, and it makes even less sense right now when you're faced with the option of either making an emergency signing or moving Tyron Smith, who's never played tackle in the NFL, out to tackle after spending all of camp at guard, basically saying, hey, you got the Bucks in 16 days. Hope you pick this up quick. I mean, that's just crazy. And so, like, the lack of foresight here is wild to me.
So, David, for you then, who should be the starting offensive lineman that lines up against Vita Vea, Shaquille Barrett, and the whole host of Buccaneers looking to get after Dak Prescott week 1?
I mean, if it were me, if it were me, I would be on the phone with a Jason Peters or a Darrell Williams or I hear the talk that maybe Eric Fisher doesn't have it anymore. But again, Eric Fisher is a guy that's played a lot of time in the NFL. I would sign that guy for, people are joking, but the Cowboys have $20 million in cap space. If Andrew Whitworth is willing to
don't do it,
he
David.
Can still do it,
don't do it, David. Don't do that. Don't do that. Does Andrew Whitworth look like a man who wants to come out of retirement with that cush Amazon job to come play for this team under these circumstances?
Did you not hear the part where I said they had the third most cap space in the league? I mean, if you can offer the guy somewhere between $6 and $12 million to do it, he might do it. I don't know. I'm not saying it's the cure-all, but that phone call should at least be made. So if it were me, I would try to get a veteran guy in here. The Cowboys don't seem like they want to do that, at least not right now. So if that's the case, I think you got to do everything in your power to get Tyron Smith as many reps at left tackle as possible, play Connor McGovern at left guard, and see what happens.
And I mean, if they take that scenario, which is the path of least resistance of Tyron Smith left tackle, Connor McGovern left guard, do you still envision them maybe making a smaller signing to add that depth, or are we just going to go into this flying by the seat of our pants and hoping that Let's Go or Ball are capable of being your backups?
I just really, I don't know, and it's been baffling me all month because I don't think that's good enough, and I definitely think, they need to be looking at the waiver. They need to be looking at available veterans. They need to be thinking about, okay, do we have an asset that we can trade for somebody that's done this? And when I say making a trade, I'm not talking about trading for, some badass veteran. I'm just saying, making a minor trade for a guy that has a few starts under his belt. Because what we've seen right now, Let's Go just got back to practice.
Mm-hmm.
He literally just started practicing again after getting hurt on the first day of pads. So he missed all of the most important part of camp. And, maybe it's not time to completely give up on Josh Ball, but y'all have watched the preseason games. It doesn't look like anything that I want to put my trust in. So yeah, no, if that's their plan is to go forward with what they have, then I completely don't understand.
All right, David, before we get you out of here, we know that you're a proud graduate of LSU. The one thing that Brian Kelly could do during week 1 that would have you lose your mind as an LSU Tiger?
I assume you mean in a bad way.
Of course. Because why would you assume anything else?
Well, if they drop 50 on FSU and Brian Kelly kneels out the clock on the goal line because it's such an embarrassing win, I would lose my mind over that.
I love it. This man is unabashed.
Yeah, literally, I don't know, man. It's I've got very tempered expectations. I think they'll win next week against Florida State, but I'm not counting on it. I think there's going to be some growing pains involved here. So I guess as long as he doesn't just completely bungle an end of game scenario, ice his own kicker or forget how many timeouts he has, my expectations are fairly low. So don't get me wrong, I'll be I'll be upset if they lose, but like it's hard to make me lose my mind. Like you've really got to spit the bit to make me lose my mind. So like I'm just happy. I'm happy college football's back.
How happy, Dave? How happy are you? I want to evaluate the level of sickness. Are you watching Week 0 football?
What is that even a question? I'm going to be glued to Nebraska Northwestern like it's a playoff game. I'm going to be no.
Look at that company man, Fox Television.
Oh yeah.
Big news Saturday.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't even know Fox was airing that game. I'm going to be up late watching Vanderbilt play Hawaii. I will watch any college football that is on. I do not care.
Austin
care.
P at Western Kentucky?
Yes. Yes.
This is the same dude who said that he would stop down and watch the San Diego Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl if he had a chance to do it. So I guess I shouldn't be too surprised.
You're damn right, fella. Like, if college football is on, I'm going to watch it. It's my favorite thing in the world, just to make that abundantly clear.
Fantastic. See you soon, buddy.